All right. Hi, everyone. It is Monday, January 14th, and we are here for our weekly team time. And we're back to our regular training schedule with our new format that we are doing, where you've hopefully done your pre-training using the stellar training that we have from the company, and then we just bring it to discussion here. So I don't know if I said it yet, but my name is Dee Corchin, and I'm glad to be here. Going to be hosting the call with Julie Apple. So Julie, our topic tonight is building a referral-based business. And I'm telling you guys, if we can get comfortable talking to our clients about sharing with their world, it's going to help your business tremendously. The number one thing is more people are going to get healthy, the more our clients are sharing, but that in turn is going to do one of two things. It's going to lead more people to you as potential referrals, and it's great when you have a referral-based business. Maybe Julie can share a little more on that. But also it leads to the potential that we can have the opportunity to talk to these clients about coaching, because we know it's in their best interest if they actually step into the role like we did of helping somebody else. So we had the training. It was led by, I think, Jan Paxman and Jared Smithson, two very, very great sources of wisdom. So really the first question we like to lay out there is, what did you learn, or what's something that was different than what you are currently doing?
Hey Dee, it's Wendy.
Hey Wendy.
All right, y'all don't want to see me. I'm eating and I look really scary. I realized that I wasn't doing referrals at all. I just wasn't even thinking about it. And most of my clients have been, I guess, kind of referred to me in an indirect way, but it's not because of anything I've done. So I learned a lot today and got a lot of work to do.
So how do you think it'll look different? Like, what is something that you learned, Wendy, that you think you can start applying right away?
So I don't even ask my current clients, do you know anybody that wants to get healthy with you? Or, I've asked, if people started to notice, but I stop right there. So I think there's lots of opportunities that I've been missing out on.
And if they say that somebody's noticed, if you stop right there, what were you or not saying at that point?
Usually they would say yes, and I would just, say, hey, isn't that awesome? Doesn't that feel great? And just leave it at that, because I didn't really know what to say. Or I was afraid to say it because I didn't want to make them crazy, run them off or freak them out, or.
So what will you say now?
Well, I think I'll ask them if they've got anybody they want to get healthy with, and who might that be, and let's get us all connected so we can start talking about it and see if we can bring them on board, and then that'll lead to hopefully some coaching opportunities for other people.
Do you mind sharing a little bit, Wendy, about the statement you made at the end when you said you didn't want to potentially freak them out?
I'm a big fat chicken when it comes to, I don't want people to put up their wall when they talk to me. And so most of the time, I would just not say things that I wanted to say. I was afraid to say it. And that I've been working with another group to work on things like that. So now I am a lot less afraid. I'm like, hey, what the heck? Let's just go for it. Because most of the time, what you imagine in your head is going to be the worst case scenario. It doesn't happen.
That's right.
So I feel like now I'm just going to go for it and not be scared anymore.
That's good. That's good. Anybody else relate to Shauna? Did you want to say something? Thank you, Wendy, for that.
What did we take away from it when Jared was talking about posturing them? That was pretty profound, Frank, that this morning. And I really liked when he said, do you give me permission, very best tools? And I just thought that's just a kind of a unique way to ask them about how they wanted you to help them. And that was pretty important to me. And I loved when he said, will you be coaching them or will we be coaching them together? Oh my gosh, that was like exclamation marks all beside that. I thought that was pretty profound. And then, relating it back to, you can either get this amount of money or this amount of money, and then shut up and let them tell you which one they want. So I've not ever done that. So
I wanted to definitely like what Shauna said about the whole, okay, so are you coaching them or are we coaching them together, was awesome. And I agree with you. It's like, okay, so let's just look at this. Let's see you find, like 5 people this month. Do you want to make $100 in referrals or would you like to make $456 as a coach? And that's rotating. So I thought that was good. But another thing, and I don't know why I never heard it and I never thought of it, but Patty was talking about like when you're doing the health assessment that, and it's even like it's written on there, it says, hey, is there anybody else that would like to do this with you? And that's kind of where I go. I just say, do you have anybody in your world that might want to do something with you? And when they say, no, not at this time or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, keep that in mind. And that's kind of where I leave it. But Patty said, look, you've got to plant seeds. You've got to give them things, key words, things to think about, and just be like, so who have you tried to get healthy with in the past? Do you have any gym buddies or siblings or coworkers? And so she's like giving them things to think about. And I never have done that. So I thought that was just brilliant. So I'm definitely going to start implementing that ASAP.
Julie, you want to share a little bit about, you've always done well with the referrals. So what you say when you ask somebody if people are noticing, or how do you direct those conversations?
Yeah, real quick. I think Katie, you had your hand up real fast. Do you want to pipe in, Katie, and then I can share?
Oh, I was just going to echo what Debbie was saying and Shauna before that about the getting specific about, not just who do you have in your life, but gym buddies, and really making them think in their life. Because I thought, as he was saying that, I was like going through my mind, thinking of people that I've worked out with or that I've known. But then my biggest takeaway was how Patty said, like how you look at people. Is it diverse? Is it, that really spoke to me, because I was like, she said, I basically have all women. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of look at that and who I've asked to be coaches and who I've thought to be on my team, and they're all women. And I thought, it's funny because as she was saying that, I was like driving home that day, and I said, one girl that I've asked to be a coach, and I'm waiting to hear from her, she's going to get people totally different than I would get. And just the diversity, and, I thought that was a really cool point. But I thought a lot of it was just the way that they were phrasing things. And, the hardest part for me, what felt hard or awkward, was it's not like, I feel like I'm pushing what's blessed me, because I'm so like passionate about it. So I try, but people can take that the wrong way, and they can find it, I've been told that can be intimidating by some. So that's been hard for me to kind of back that down and try to think of, really step into their world and feel for them and what they're going through at the time, and just kind of ease off on the, what's helped me. So
That's so good. And I think that scared me in the beginning of talking to people about referrals and coaching too, because it feels awkward maybe at first, but then as you keep having those conversations, and like Jared and they suggested is having the good questions to ask and having the keywords. When you start asking the right questions, people look at it completely different than feeling like you're pushing something on them. They're like, oh, yeah, like my sister needs this and my dad and my best friend. Then they're like, oh, yes. And then they're excited to have them come along with them versus you feeling like you're pushing it on them. So that's good, Katie. I think to answer Dee's question and kind of to go back to the basics, if you guys got to watch the video, I think one of the things they started out with was talking about structural coaching and going to the very root of how we coach our clients. And I think that probably is the biggest key. And if you guys leave with one or two nuggets tonight, that might be one of them, is it all starts with how you coach your clients. No, we're not super coaches. I've learned to not be a super coach because you want them to be able to duplicate what you're doing. But taking care of them. And it was actually interesting. Every time I think of referrals, Melissa's not on because she's in Hawaii and it's 2 PM. But when I was out visiting, she said to me something about how her realtor, she left a really bad taste in her mouth about the experience. And when she bought her house, and she goes, I'm never going to send anybody his way. And I looked at her and I said, well, that's how why we take care of our clients, because you want people to think of you immediately when they know somebody needs to get healthy. So we work in a world where we want to help them, but we have to take care of them too. Like we want them to get quality coaching because then they're going to send their friends. So it works a very similar way. And she was like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense. So that's important for us. And then the other thing that I really liked at the end, and this is something I do with people, is I'm very strategic about teaching them how to refer and talking about it very early on, because if you don't bring it up, I think Patty or one of them said, they're referring. It's just whether or not you're actually getting the referral and talking and having a conversation. So people are talking about this all the time, but have you trained them how to talk about the program and how to talk about referrals? And what do you say when somebody asks, oh my gosh, what are you eating? And what are you doing? And you're shrinking. So if you can teach them that early on and just say, hey, if somebody asks you, what are you saying? So I usually ask people right out of the gate, if it's like they're at the 10-pound mark, we'll say, have people noticing? And then when they answer, you can say, well, what do you tell them? So it's always better to go ahead and ask the question and see what they're saying, because you'll find out lots of interesting things. And then you can teach them what you want them to say, and keeping it really simple. And I'm working with a coach, and I'd love to, I can easily connect you with them. Do you want to talk to her? And then put in a 3-way text or a Facebook message or an email and go ahead and connect you guys. And then you can take the ball from there versus them just sharing all this stuff. And people are like, what? I don't have $400, then you automatically lose them. So if you teach them out of the gate, you're going to find you're going to have far more referrals coming to you that you can help. But then also you have the conversations increasing about coaching. So you can talk to them. Are we going to coach them together? And do the money comparison and however you want to handle it. So I think those are the two things: structural coaching and teaching them how to refer. So you're actually showing them the way versus letting them do whatever they would naturally just say. Yeah, Carol.
Okay. I have a question about the bonus you give your clients who refer someone. How do you give a healthcare credit? I've heard it mentioned before, and I'm still a new coach, and I wanted to know how that works, and if someone could explain it to me, if it's a credit towards Optavia products, or what do you do?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you can do however you feel comfortable as a coach. That's the neat part, is we can choose. So I do a referral credit to my clients if there's somebody that they connect me with. And there's an awesome little thing. If you actually go to Optavia Coach Answers, you can look up, Wendy and I were looking this up the other night, you can look up wellness credits, and it'll actually walk you through, and it'll show you step by step how to add the wellness credit. And it's you just logging into your own Optavia account, adding the money, and it applies it to your client, so that then on their next order, that referral amount that you want to give gets applied to their order. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. I just wasn't sure. I'd heard it mentioned that a lot of people gave a $25 credit, and that I thought was a really nice little motivator when I have new patients come in and they refer another patient, we send them a lunch ticket to a choice of restaurants. We give them a $15 check made out to the restaurant. And people love something for free. I mean, there is no question they feel great about it. So thank you for that information.
And that's
Yeah,
in your dental practice, Carol?
That's awesome.
Oh, yes. We've
Yeah,
been doing it for years. It says,
same concept.
have lunch on us. And then it talks about if you send a friend and they come in the office, even if they came one time, we still give them a lunch and they feel so great about it. It's super.
You could even do it and say, here's a healthy lunch on me. I mean, you could do it however you want because
Sure.
it's yours.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if there was a format for it and I wasn't quite clear about it in the past. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I just add something real quick? I had a referral from somebody who's not on program. I just see her occasionally, and so she referred somebody to me. So I told her that if the person signed up, I would give her a $25 Amazon gift card, and she was super excited about that. So don't think that you can't get referrals just from your clients. You can get referrals from anybody. My sister referred somebody to me, and I gave her she referred to. I gave her a $25 Amazon card, and then I gave $25 in her name to a charity that's very dear to her heart. So.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Beth. I think, we naturally think of our clients as good referrals for us. And, let's face it, as they're melting away, they're like our walking billboard. So that is the most obvious. But you're right. I think towards the end of the training, they talked about, does everybody in your world know that you're a health coach? So, your sister referred to you. And you can also create referral relationships with individuals that might work with individuals that could use your services. So for example, you could potentially partner with a personal trainer who is not doing anything in the area of nutrition, or partner with a physician or a chiropractor or somebody. So I know a lot of our coaches are new on this, and you could, if you're working with a health professional, you would want to get with your health coach to talk about that, but definitely be thinking beyond our clients. So I want to take Lynette's question, and then I also wanted to go back to something Lisa Bloom had written. Lynette, can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. No, I just wanted to comment that I just started doing that this week to people who were interested before but didn't sign up. I've told them about, that I would give them a referral bonus. And I'm planning to meet with a health coach who's an exercise as opposed to a nutrition coach this week to see how we could pair up. So that's great to hear you guys say that. It makes me feel I'm on the right track.
You are absolutely on the right track. Thank you for sharing that. And thanks for trusting your intuition to, initiate those connections, because that's a really, really great opportunity. I think she froze up on me. So we touched on it at the beginning, and I think this is huge. I don't want to miss chatting about this, that we can possibly feel salesy or feel uncomfortable asking for referrals. Just raise your hand if you feel a little icky sometimes, or if it's ever felt icky. Yeah, I totally understand. They spent quite a bit of time at the beginning of the webinar. It almost seemed like they took a while to get to the meat of it. But what they were really doing, I think, was really helping to work so much of our comfort level, and the way our conversations will go is related to our mindset. And I think that we always have to remember, kind of step back, because anytime we feel icky or we feel weird or we feel salesy, it might be because we're focusing a little too much on us, right? That we're worried about how we're feeling in the conversation, but two, it might be because we're thinking we want more clients, right? Versus the mission, which is helping as many people as possible with Optavia, right? And that's naturally going to ultimately be a client. Another huge point that they made is that we are doing our clients a favor when we encourage them for referrals, because them creating a healthy community around them, if they get a couple of people doing it at work around them, they are starting to create their own healthy community outside, right around them, right at work, right in their family, right, whatever. So that is going to have a huge outcome on their final results, because we know we are the average of the people that we hang out with. So I think that was a good thing. And so I used to, whoever was at the beginning, I think it was Wendy, said she never used to ask on the health assessment, who might do this with you. I love that question. And I'm amazed that people answer it easily. They're like, well, I don't know, my mom might want to. Like, it's just, we just have to ask the question, because I just say it's always more fun, or it can be more effective if you're doing it with somebody else that's close to you. So hopefully that is helpful to you. 2 people have their hand raised. I can't quite see who they are, so just unmute yourself if you had raised your hand. Oh, Wendy, did you have something else?
No, I'm good. I'd raise my hand for something earlier that you said, raise your hand.
Okay. See. Carol, did you have something else? Go ahead and unmute. And then we'll come back.
Yes, a couple of things that he talked about that weren't always just referrals that I thought were interesting was, because I watched the video, I called somebody again who was on my list of who had approached me 2 months ago. And this time she said, I'm not ready, but I think I'm almost ready. And I think that I felt like I was annoying her, and we were talking about the salesy feeling of being pushy, but he just said, go in and tell them, I can help you do this. I love that line. I know I can help you do this, and you can achieve this. And I think that turned my head around, made me more comfortable. So I just wanted to mention that. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, the follow-up again is in their best interest. I think I was sharing with Allison earlier, we were doing a coaching call, and somebody I just stay in touch with or whatever. It's been almost a year, but I got a message from her today. She's ready. And I know, had I not followed up with her, and just, hey, I'm thinking about you. It's the new year, whatever. I'm not so sure she would have come around. It probably would have fizzled away. So good job with that. What else? What do you think you can, what's one thing you weren't doing? I know that Wendy said there were several things that she wasn't doing, but what's one thing that you weren't doing that you thought you heard and you were like, yeah, I could hear myself saying that, or something that will make a shift in your business?
Hey, Dee.
Yeah, Marilyn.
I just noticed, I thought it was funny today, Dee and I were talking about who else we could refer or ask to be a coach, and we're talking about my town being kind of small, and I've got 4 coaches now, and we're all from the same area, and I was kind of getting worried about being overly saturated in this area, but I appreciated his comments and her comments at the beginning about each person knows 600 people, so I kind of thought it was funny that we had just talked about that, and it wouldn't take long in my area for those 600 people to all be people we know, but there will be people in other areas. So I thought it encouraged me to kind of get out of my own head and remember the world's a lot bigger place than I realize sometimes. So that was something to take away.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. That's that mindset shift, right? Like from, maybe a scarcity issue. There's not enough people in this town to, there's a lot. I just need to be connecting and reaching and connecting with the people that they know that don't live in this area. So awesome. I feel like somebody else had their hand up.
I was just going to add, I think it's really cool how he said our goal should be to not take referrals. And I feel like in the early days of my business that I would never think that way. Like, of course I want a referral. Of course I want to grow my clients. But as we keep growing our businesses, it becomes more and more important, I think, as Patty was saying, is to build teams of coaches and be looking at it that way. So I think as a new coach, you want to remember that we get paid to help coaches too. So it's not just about bringing on more clients, but you can actually help more and more people and expand that reach and grow teams, and you'll still get compensated for it. And I think I've had a couple new coaches mention to me, I didn't realize I'd get paid on helping coaches. Yeah. So you can help a lot more people with coaching the coaches, not just one client at a time. And I didn't understand that in the beginning either. So hopefully that helps some of our new coaches think about it bigger too.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because it's really easy to enter thinking you're just looking for clients, 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 but we can build from day one with coaches. And, I think like Lauren Yeomans has done that, really set the pace with her team on bringing on coaches soon. And you see how people can move up the ranks quickly. And what's happening and what's nice is that the income, you can grow your income with clients and it'll grow like this. And then you're going to hit a point that you can only handle so many clients. But then when you start helping coaches help, well, together, just like this call, there's no way, I mean, we're impacting thousands of people. There's no way I could do that myself. But what happens over time is that then your income trajectory it can go really high. But it also provides for you equity in your business and stability, so that it's not 100% dependent on you all the time. So that if you reach a point that you want to travel more or whatever, that you don't have to be so worried about, individual clients every single month. That is a great segue, because the next future sessions are going to be on starting to adopt a sponsoring mindset, of starting to think in terms of adding coaches. And that can be kind of scary and new, especially if you are a new coach. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time diving into it. So this referral conversation is good, because what that's doing is that's getting our clients and the people in our world to be thinking of us for referrals. And then the question then becomes, when you get the referral, who is going to coach them, or whatever. So very good. Any other particular questions on this topic? It sounds like it was really helpful, increasing the comfort zone and knowing what to say. I will say it is really key to teach, like Julie said, to ask your clients what they're saying. Like when Wendy had said she wasn't sure what to say, when your client, if you ask, is anybody noticing? And they're like, yeah, this girl at work was asking me. Ask them, say, what did you tell her? Is what I say. Now, you want to hopefully be telling them what to say and what not to say before that, but ask them. And if they stumble over their words or whatnot, it's going to be very clear how comfortable they are. But we just had a coach recently on this page where whoever their referral was said the name of the program, and the person just went to optavia.com, and the coach called them in our team, called them for the referral, and they were like, oh, we're good, and they just gone to the website. So it's in your best interest to really, we really want to teach them well what to say and what not to say. And if you're not sure, talk to your business coach about that. Before we close out, and I do want to encourage all of us to hop over to Dr. A's coach call at 8 p.m. Susan Pallas, who is my coach, global director, she is speaking on Dr. A's call tonight. So that is a very, very big deal. And so I would love for all of us to be over there to support her. But just wanted to encourage you, we're talking about our clients building community. We talk about plugging our clients in, and just really want to encourage you as well, especially on our Eat, Live, and Be Optavia page, to be a really active participant as a coach on that page. So you are a client as well. So interact, ask, put your own things out there. If you have an inspirational post or something, share it there. But it is super, super important that we don't get in the habit of just dumping our clients in there and then just leaving them. And that could be easy to do because we all get busy and we think it's just kind of running itself. But if we all will interact, we'll keep the page a lively page. And I encourage you to, like, we've got the challenge going on. At the beginning, we had like 38 people responding to our questions. It's gradually shrinking. But if you look at the past several days, nobody from our team has been commenting on. So a client comments, and then nobody is acknowledging what they said. So, it's just a natural, it's not really the community interaction. So if we each took one, and I encourage you just to pick somebody that is not your client, it would be easy on all of us, and then they'd see all of our faces and our names out there. So I think that would be helpful, and it'll also help you on your journey because you'll be a little more connected as well. Thank you, Julie, for helping out with this call. Thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule to be on, and let's head on over to Dr. A's call. Thanks so much.